welcome to another episode of Sons of Thunder. And today we have a very important topic that we're going to be talking about. And let's roll this first video.
I can respect the absolutist position. I really can. I scold the left on when they say, oh, you know what? They just hate women. People who aren't pro-life, pro-choice. They don't hate women. They just made that up. They think it's murder. And it kind of is. I'm just okay with that.
So,
yeah.
Right,
obviously, our topic tonight is abortion. It's the big subject.
Yeah. That guy's okay with murder.
Yeah, Bill Maher, and he's not the only one. He's at least admits that it's a human life, because what else could it be? It's inside of a human being and comes forth from a human being. He admits it is, but he says that he's okay with ending the human life.
Yeah, and there's people on this with him, right? Let's see how they react.
Yeah, well, watch how they react.
I am. I mean, there's 8 billion people in the world. I'm sorry, we won't miss you. That's my position on it. What?
That's quite harsh, Bill.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not
Is
sure
that not your position if you're pro-choice?
Isn't that mainly because you don't like children? I mean,
yeah,
no,
exactly.
I mean, but if you are, you said you're pro-choice. That's your position too.
So what we have here,
isn't that hilarious?
Yeah, it's stand-up comedy at its best.
Yeah, the guy just said there that we don't need you. He admits it's a human life, but
I'm not gonna miss you. And we start laughing about how murders are. So one of the reasons why we decided, a couple reasons why we decided to do this. One, now. Two, we've always talked about doing this over the past year of us being together, but we think it's very important right now, because if you're voting, even if you're not, just the importance of understanding abortion, and maybe will help sway some people to actually know what abortion actually is and why it's pushed so much on one side or the other, right?
Wow, absolutely.
We are of the truth side, where we say this is killing human people, and as he said, and he's for abortion.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
But he's admitting, yes, it is killing people.
Yeah, but
right?
That's acceptable to him.
So I think if we start there, that's where we go, right? We can't jump to a place that isn't that. It starts where we're killing people.
Well, apparently the United States in general kind of agrees with that too. I mean, let's see, the last date we have stats for is 2020, and at that time 930,160 abortions were performed. And since 1973, when Roe was enacted, approximately 63 million babies and pregnancies have been ended. That's a big number, and it's hard to put in.
Huge number.
Yeah, it's hard to put that in proportion, but okay, that's 63 million babies. Italy has a population of 53 million.
So the population of a whole country is gone.
Just imagine the entire nation of just Italy gone. In fact, it never existed.
Right, yeah.
Just like all those children never existed.
People like him, I don't care. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, it's just
we're not going to miss you.
What? Yeah. Who knows what we missed on that? Let me correct. It's 59 million, not 53 million. Anyway, according to the Brookings Institute, the most common reason women seek abortions is due to unintended pregnancies. This includes, mistimed or just children that aren't wanted.
Right.
And
a mistake, as they would call it.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to kill somebody because of a mistake.
Well, usually on the other side too, though, the reason I bring that up is that they always argue, the pro-abortion side, that what about the life of the mother and stuff like that. Those abortions are actually very rare in comparison. According to the CDC.
Those to protect the abortion itself.
Yeah. So, but. Let me move on here. Here's where things take an even sharper turn towards the sinister. Of the 31 states that reported racial and ethnic data on abortion to the CDC, 42% of all women who had abortions in 2021 were black, while 30% were white, 22% were Hispanic, and 6% were other races. Say, now look, blacks make up 13% of the population, and 42% of the women having abortions are black. And I got to ask, where's Black Lives Matter in this?
Yeah, seriously.
If Black Lives Matter so much, that's a friggin' Holocaust is what it is.
Yeah. Now, I have heard, I think it's from you and other places, that most of these clinics started in, rural or ghettos or just, places where there's not there's a lot of poverty, where you're going to find a lot of the, not rich white, as we say, right? People.
Yeah.
And it's bringing in a lot of those people to kill their babies, right?
Yeah, the abortion clinics and that are mostly centered around very heavily populated urban areas.
And so that's targeting a group, and not only targeting a group, but targeting a specific need to, I don't have the money for a child, or I don't want a child because I want to do something, or an oops, and okay, well, we can kill that for you.
Yeah, well,
very quickly.
You have to wonder. I mean, these social justice warriors, what they call themselves, they find racism everywhere. But when you have 42% of the babies being killed are black, they don't see any kind of a conspiracy there. They don't see any kind of a conspiracy when the abortion mills are all around the inner cities and stuff like that. But I mean, and even the person who started the organization that led into being Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger.
Yes, she's a piece of work.
Yeah, she was a eugenicist, or she was into eugenics, which is the study of how to arrange reproduction within a human population to increase the occurrence of heritable characteristics regarded as desirable. That's a fancy way of saying just they want to make sure that human beings don't have any undesirable characteristics in them, so they want to keep the bloodlines pure and all that kind of crap.
Sounds like racism to me.
Yeah, it sounds more like, it sounds actually like literal Nazi. Yeah. Well, Sanger didn't consider black skin desirable. For that matter, she felt the same way about mentally people with birth defects or mental disabilities and all that other kind of stuff. We could roll quote one about what this founder said. This is one of the things that Margaret Sanger said, the founder of Planned Parenthood. More children from the fit, less from the unfit. That is the chief issue of birth control.
That sounds like a quote from a Nazi.
Yeah. Well, they relied heavily on eugenics. It was kind of like the foundation of their political theory.
So one, we have to, cut out the strain that is weak. This goes back to we've talked about evolution and all that. Survival of the fittest. Cut out the weak strain,
right,
and keep the strong. And they consider the strong, I guess, whites.
Well, or just not. They consider other races and that sort of thing to be somehow degenerate, like a step backward in evolution or something like that.
Yeah, that's the whole evolution theory that connects to this whole thing where we kill off the weak.
Yeah, or just whatever's going to supposedly bring the race down or whatever. But she goes on to say, if we can get quote 2 there, Skeeter. In animal industry, the poor stock is not allowed to breed. In gardens, the weeds are kept down. Wow,
so I didn't know that we were an industry to sell humans, because she's talking about humans here. And I also didn't know we were supposed to kill those that were weaker or runts.
Well, she's putting it in a real. It's very Nazi-like way.
This very Nazi-like way.
Yeah, and these leftists, they call everybody a fargan Nazi except people who are actually believe in actual foundational Nazi political ideals.
Yeah, and not only that, I mean, this is where black slavery in America got a foothold where they thought it was right and need to be, because you're not strong enough. You're not the better race. You're not the.
Well, you're inferior.
You're not the cream of the crop. You're inferior.
Well, that's how you can abuse a people, is that you call them somehow less than human. That's why you can, for the most part, they feel that it's okay. Abortion's okay because it's not a human being. Unlike Bill Maher, he knows they're human beings. He doesn't care. He'll kill them anyway. It doesn't matter. But I mean, black people are less than human beings. Therefore, we can enslave them. unborn children are less than human beings, therefore we can kill them. You have to dehumanize the people in order to be able to do whatever you want with them.
Yeah, there's a quote that I have from a pastor, if you can put that up. Yeah. This is Daryl B. Henderson. He has his own podcast called Just Thinking, and he's a biblical counselor and a pastor. And he said, if abortion is health care, which they make it out to be, then slavery is job creation. And I mean that's right up the line of, you know, racism, and not only that, but killing those that don't belong. Because he's a black man right here. He's saying, like, the black community is being pushed down. They were by slavery, and now it's by abortion. This is ridiculous. I mean, it's not, we're not here to really talk about racism. Right. We're mostly talking about how we believe that anytime you say abortion needs to happen, you're killing someone. Well,
and he makes the point too. That's an excellent quote. They call abortion health care. The left does this with a lot of things. It's like so whenever you say we're not going to support abortion, they're saying, well, you won't support women's health care then. It's the same thing with the trans people. If we're not going to pay for them to mutilate themselves bodily, then we're refusing to give them health care. No, we're not. It's
just because you want something to happen to you that may not be normal doesn't mean that we are going to immediately call it health care because you want it done.
Well, they call it health care specifically for that reason, because it sounds like we're denying people the cancer treatments or something like that. No, we're just denying.
This has nothing to do with actually health. In fact, it's the opposite. Health is trying to better your life, while this is actually taking life away.
Yes, that's right.
And it's in a way that is, you could search yourself when you're watching this. Put us off the side as we're giving you information and facts. This is not opinion we're giving you. We're giving you facts from people and stats that are actually happening on. And you could put us off the side and search Google of the pictures. The pictures are terrible of abortions and women that gone through it. It's just, this is ridiculous. And this is an epidemic, like you said. It's destroying almost, whole countries' amounts of people.
That never existed.
One of the things that, as you and me have talked over the years, we know I'm the science guy, right? And you're more the social political guy, and we kind of go back and forth with that.
Yeah.
This is right up the alley. In science, scientists actually find life and have categories of what considers to be life, right? We're looking for life on other planets, right? They look for microorganisms. Well, an organism inside a woman's womb, right, as it grows and grows into a baby, these are the things that is required as life, okay? All these things a child has. Even if you want to go into, the growth, it develops in the womb.
Right.
All right? It will learn traits with the heredity. It learns traits and gets traits from the DNA of its parents. Okay? It is suitable and can use metabolism to grow with the food that it gets and the blood and oxygen and all this stuff. This is what science considers life, right? And even the reproductive. Like you would say, well, babies don't reproduce. Okay? No, but their reproductive organs are growing inside, so it is possible to have offspring from this person that is growing inside.
Well, babies outside of the womb can't reproduce.
Right.
So that is not a factor.
But that fact right there of reproduction is not to say that it does it, but that it has the possibility to do it.
Yeah, the potential, yeah.
And so all these things, and the biggest one is the cellular. And I think that's the thing that annoys me the most about abortion is that they say, well, it's a fetus. It's just a couple cells put together. It's like, well, at the cellular level, we are looking for stuff on different planets in the ice and the water that they find on Mars to say, oh, there's life here.
Right.
But they won't do it when we're living with it.
Well, yeah, and just even from just a logical standpoint, if that is something that's alive in a human being, which I don't think it can be contested that it isn't, then what kind of life would it be other than human beings? It's not a hippopotamus. It's
exactly.
human life.
Yeah.
Which again, Bill Maher recognizes, and he's not lying. He's telling the truth. I'm glad. I mean, it's a monstrous viewpoint, but it's honest. Yeah, it is life, right? But we don't.
But
care.
I don't care.
I don't care.
Let's kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think when we go to just a logical thing, that this is a human being that is growing. Yeah. It is alive, right? You can't, as you said, dehumanize it. No, let's not dehumanize it. Let's call it what it really is. It's a human being growing in a human body. It deserves to live then. Why are we just killing it just to kill it?
Yeah. Again, speaking of logic, the laws regarding abortion across the United States are totally schizophrenic. I mean, you have, for instance, states like Alaska and Arizona and some other states too. They have laws that recognize the unlawful killing of an unborn child as a crime, at least in certain circumstances.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, well, it is, but see, then it's schizophrenic because these they say this guy's robbing a woman, right? And in the course of which he becomes violent in some way, causes the woman to miscarry. The baby dies.
Yeah.
In some of these states, that would be considered manslaughter of an unborn child, or in other words, and another way of putting it in other states is criminally negligent homicide of an unborn child. Manslaughter. What does that mean? Slaughter of a man. Homicide.
Yes.
Killing a human being, and yet these same states allow abortion.
Wait, what?
So how is
what?
Yeah.
I thought that the law was that if this happens, you're gonna get punished for killing 2 lives.
Oh, that's just it. It's basically what it's saying is it's a human being, depending on whether who kills it.
Is.
Yeah, it's just a matter of what you want it to be or something.
And I think
I don't know.
There's so many things that are wrong with the whole mentality of abortion. But whenever you go to, I know we're 2 men talking about, the biggest thing that those that are for abortion will say, well, it's my body, my choice. It's like, well, okay, well, is it your body, your choice if you decide to kill somebody?
Yeah.
Is it my body, my choice if I decide to use my hands to kill another person?
Right. Well, that's the thing that they deny. That most of them have to try to deny that it's actually a human being.
That's what I'm saying. Right. And even science would say it is, and logic
says
it
will
is,
too, and yeah, and
I mean, if we go, we're a Christian station that believes this type of things. We believe what the Bible says. What is it in Jeremiah 1:5? He says, "I knew you in the womb."
Yeah.
Right. Before you even formed, I knew of you.
Yeah.
So that means you are a person being formed inside the womb. Like this is logical. This is spiritual. This is scientific. Like in every way that people want to say.
Whatever angle you want to look at it.
It's like why are? I guess my question is because you're the political one. So I ask you this political question: Why are people so dumb?
I didn't know that. That's more like a philosophical question.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because they're using it as a political one.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah. I don't know. I think they're being willfully stupid on the one hand. And you know what? I feel bad a lot of times I actually feel bad for women who get abortions. Look, I've known women who have gotten abortions and become believers and just felt horrible about it.
Yes, I've met this.
Those women, I think they're victims just as much as the baby is, because they've been told by society, and they've been told by abortion mill doctors, and they've been told by all these people that it not only is it okay, it's a good thing, and you're expressing your power and all this other kind of crap to kill your child. And they've been fooled and they've been misled. And if anybody out here is like that, I'll tell you, God has mercy for you and He loves you. I'm telling you, He does.
Yeah.
The Lord Jesus Christ loves you. I don't care.
Has mercy in anything that we do that He doesn't agree with. So
that's right. God's got mercy for you. I promise.
I would also say that I've heard of many stories of, scratch Christianity, I've heard many stories of just plain women who have gone through the abortion and they're
right.
heart struck because they're like, I shouldn't have done this.
Yeah.
In so many ways, physical, mental, emotional, because there's that connection that a mother has with her baby, and you've just ripped that out. You've just destroyed that.
Yeah. Well, the terrible thing about it is, though, that here's a fun fact. According to Pew Research Center, 43% of women who got abortions had previously had other abortions. That's anywhere between 1 and 3 or more. These are repeat customers. Let me break this down just for a second. 11% of the women who had an abortion in 2021, it was their third. And for 8%, it was their fourth or more abortions. Jeez. Yeah. So, but see, is it
really there? Like, is it an oops by then? Like, is it like...
That's the point. It's not an oops. They act like, okay, women get abortions because of these extenuating circumstances.
Yeah, like rape or whatever.
Or they just can't have a child right now. No, man. It's 43% of them are return customers, so to speak, for the abortion procedure.
I mean, I don't know every situation, so I'm not going to blanket it, but I'm sure a good amount of these situations are also women who just want to have sex as much as they possibly can, right?
Yeah.
And I just want to do it whenever I can, and then I don't want this anymore.
Well, even if you want to have sex whenever you want, okay, but,
But the more you do it, the more you have oops.
Well, but contraception is cheap and plentiful and not hard to get.
Well, if you're poor, right?
If you're poor, you can still afford it. I mean...
Can you?
Yeah.
If we're having so many problems?
I don't know, man. I think anybody can afford it if they want to.
Well, we think this is a very important topic. We also want to push the agenda. We're not pushing you to vote or not to vote, but we know that the election is coming up on Tuesday. And if you haven't voted yet, or you plan on voting, even if you don't plan on voting, the side that you should probably pick is life.
Yeah.
Anybody who's going to say that abortion should be a choice or use the "it's my right to kill somebody" slogan, you should be against that because it's just genocide.
Yeah. Well, and even and by the way, if you don't like Trump, that's fine. Don't vote for him. Just don't vote for the party of abortion. I mean, people think, well, I got to vote Republican or Democrat. No, you don't. You don't have to vote at all, or if you want to, vote for some third-party candidate.
You can vote independent too. It's like
just don't vote for the party of abortion. Is all I'm saying.
It's not abortion or not abortion. It's just not abortion. You should pick. But we also always want to end it on a note that comes from peace and from the Lord. And so, man, Bound the Curve, if you put this verse up. So this is from what, Exodus, right?
Yeah.
If this is a law from God, right?
Exodus, it's Exodus 21, verses 22 through 25. If men fight and hurt a woman with child so that she gives birth prematurely, yet no harm follows, he shall surely be punished according as the woman's husband imposes on him, and he shall pay as the judge determine. But if any harm follows, then you shall give life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burn for burn, wound for wound, stripe for stripe. See there, it says life for life.
Yeah.
The scripture is pretty clear, is very clear.
Very clear.
That this is a human being, this is a life, and whenever...
It's considered two lives.
Right.
Yeah. So we hope that you approve of this episode. We want you to comment and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button and all. Any concerns or questions you may have, please send it to us. We respond to your comments as quick as possible. And if you're going to vote, vote life. If you're not going to vote because you accept what we're saying, but at the same time you don't want to vote on the Republican side, then you don't have to vote.
Stay home. Kick back. Watch TV or something.
Watch what's going to happen.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time for another episode of Sons of Thunder.